Hey y'all, what's good, beautiful people? It's your girl Tay, and I am here yet again with another update video. So definitely make sure you guys smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe, plus push your post notification bell button so that way anytime I upload a video, you will be notified. Happy Tuesday. I feel like I am completely off, like literally. My kids are actually out of school. Well, not all of them, but my four of my children that has two homes, they are out for the whole week. So they were with me yesterday, up until yesterday. I took them back like around 5, 6 o'clock yesterday, and it just felt like a Sunday rather than a Monday. And today feels more like a Monday rather than a Tuesday. I can't explain what a Monday or a Tuesday feel like, but I just feel like something is off with the timing. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. For those of you guys who know, you know. For those of you guys who don't, then I don't know how to tell you. But it just feels weird. Like today feels like a Monday, not a Tuesday. But happy Tuesday nonetheless. And we're gonna jump into these topics. So hold on. By the way, there will be a video released. I'm not sure if it's going to be tomorrow or Thursday, but there will be a video release where I'm going over quite a few of the states that you guys had left in the comment section of my video from yesterday, just going over some of the payout information for pandemic EBT for the summertime. Okay, now I didn't go over every single state, not all 50 states, because I've already done a video. I know you guys are asking for updated information, but check out that video again. I'm not sure if it's going to come out today or if it's going to come out tomorrow, which is Wednesday, or if it's going to come out on Thursday. But just be looking out for that. It's going to be labeled Pandemic EBT Summertime, as well as some other really great updates that I'm pretty sure you guys want to know about. So, jumping right into things. Oh my God. Is that window open? Let me close this window because the gardeners are here. All right, you guys, so I did close the window. I hope that helps. I can't, it's 11, it's almost 12 o'clock, and they usually come at 9, between 8 and 9 in the morning on Tuesday, every Tuesday. I don't know why they're here late today, but it's kind of frustrating because I always wait until around this time to do my videos, and I would have rather them come in the morning and be done. So you guys are going to have to forgive me for the sound, the gardeners being in and out. I did close all of the windows, but if they get close to any of these windows, of course, the sound is going to be more amplified and you're going to hear it, and I'm wearing a microphone. So hopefully you don't hear it too much, but a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. The first thing is what's going on with California EDD. So for the most part, we know that all of the pandemic benefits, pandemic unemployment benefits, all of that stuff has been gone and canceled, right? It says California EDD announces another opportunity to get pandemic unemployment benefits. Okay, but this is for a select few people. Okay, it says another opportunity to seek pandemic unemployment assistance was announced just recently, a couple of days ago, for about 100,000 people who were previously denied. So there it is right there. There's the fine print. If you were previously denied these benefits, then you can get these benefits. You can get back pay. Okay. Eligibility was expanded under federal rules to include workers who refused to work for an employer that violated the safety standards due to the pandemic, workers laid off or had hours reduced as a direct result of the pandemic, and school employees whose usual work schedule was affected by the pandemic. Okay. Notices will be sent by email, text message, and in your UI online to those who denied previously. So check your online account if you haven't already. Just try to check them at least once a day, because they are going to send you some communication letting you know that you may be eligible for these benefits, especially if you were previously denied. It says most of whom in the market that none of the available pandemic specific reasons for unemployment applied to them. So if you applied for these benefits in the past and these pandemic specific exemptions that were on the online form, if you didn't fall into any of those categories, then it says you're going to be accepted now. Okay. Other applicants will not be accepted under this program. So this pandemic unemployment assistance benefits are not available for everybody. It's just for those who were denied benefits. It says these employees who meet PUA requirements will be given benefits for weeks that were denied. Employees laid off, blah, 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 blah. I think I said all that already. Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I was about to read everything all over to you guys again, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So just keep an eye out for your communication via mail, email, and again on your account. Now, let's dig into this Build Back Better. Okay, it says the Build Back Better extends the $3,000 enhanced child tax credit for another year. So I'm assuming that this is from the packages that they just recently passed. Okay, it says in a move that could benefit many families. House Democrats passed the $1.75 trillion Build Back Better Act on Friday. We know this, right? Which includes a one-year extension of the enhanced child tax credit. The enhanced child tax credit is a core component of President Joe Biden's plans to overhaul the social safety net and reduce child poverty in the U.S. This year, the American Rescue Plan increased the CDC, which is the child tax credit, from $2,000 per child to as much as $3,000 or $3,600, depending on the age of the child for many families. It also made it fully refundable, meaning low-income families that do not typically earn enough to file a tax return also qualify for the payment. So let me say that again. If you are among those select few or select many that don't make enough money yearly or don't have any income to file taxes, you still qualify for these payments. I'm pretty sure some instruction will come out later on, closer to the time for you guys, for us to file taxes or whatever, letting you know how you can get that payment for the next year. Okay. It says, in addition to increasing the amount families receive, the ARP, which is the American Rescue Plan, made half of the credit available in advance through monthly payments worth up to $300 per child. Since families began receiving those payments in July, researchers found that it lifted 3 million children out of poverty and food insecurity dropped significantly. The Build Back Better Act would keep the increased amounts through 2022 and keep the credit fully refundable. Joint filers making up to $150,000 annually and unmarried tax filers earning up to $112,500 qualify for the enhanced payments and could receive the money in monthly installments for the entirety of 2022. Oh my goodness. That is wonderful. I don't know if you guys are happy about that, but I'm definitely happy about that. Okay. So again, let me say that again. You guys could potentially receive the money in monthly installments for the entirety of 2022. Okay. Now it does go on to say that Biden had originally sought to keep the enhanced credit through 2025, but it was trimmed during negotiation. The bill now heads to the Senate, where it will likely be revised before it's signed into law. While most Democrats want to pass the CDC provision as is, Senator Joe Manchin, which is the Democratic pain in the butt of West Virginia, has floated adding a work requirement to the benefit, which would limit which families receive it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to fly. That's the end of this particular article. But y'all let me know what you think about that. Joe Manchin is getting on my nerve. He's like in the same category with Stingy Mitch. You know what I'm saying? Him and Mitch McConnell pretty much think the same. And that's why for me, it's like the titles that they give themselves, Democrats, Republican, none of that stuff matters. It doesn't matter which side of the road that they're standing on. At the end of the day, they're still trying to reach the same destination. It's all the same. They're all trying to protect themselves. I don't see how preventing families from receiving the child tax credit and giving them a work requirement is going to help everybody. If the purpose of this is to help lift children out of child poverty, again, is he thinking about all the things that come along with that? Because there are single parents that can't afford childcare. So if they can't go to work because they don't have childcare, are you going to put that in the description in terms of the eligibility? Are you going to make it to where, like for unemployment, if you couldn't go to work when they were giving out the unemployment benefits for the pandemic assistance program, if you couldn't go to work because maybe your child's school was closed, which everybody knew that the schools were closed way back when, right? Are you going to make it available for those parents? Or is it just you got to go to work, and if you don't go to work, you can't get it? And is it that you can't get it monthly or that you can't get it at all? These are the fine line details that obviously they're still going to have to work out. And I hope that he changes his mind, because I do think that the child tax credit advance being distributed in monthly payments is a lot better for people, but not only for the people that are receiving them, but also for the IRS, because they can set something up and then it's just going to continue recurring payments without them having to jump back in and actually file something and go over something and approve something and then send something out in one lump sum. I think that that process is a little bit more tedious and strenuous mentally than them just setting up reoccurring payments. But that's my individual opinion about that. Now, moving on, I did get a chance to look at emergency SNAP maximum benefits for the month of December. Nothing has changed as of right now. I'm going to check again. It is about 11:57 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and I'm going to just look again just to see if there are any more states that have been approved than what I have written down. So far today for December, emergency SNAP maximum benefits, we have DC, we have Kentucky, we have Mississippi, we have New Jersey, We have North Carolina, Rhode Island, South Carolina, and Tennessee. So no more additional states have been approved for December, okay? Now, let's go down here. All right, let's talk about what's going on with student loans. The Department of Education is offering another reprieve for those drowning in student loans. Okay, it says the student loan debt has been plaguing the country for decades as more than 44 million people have unresolved or delinquent balances. Now branded as a debt crisis by many economists, the amount in deficit hovers about $1.8 trillion. It says in recent months, the current administration has either fully eradicated or seriously reduced the debts of over 600,000 borrowers who have either been defrauded by their institutions or are graduates of schools that are now defunct. Okay, some of the former institutions attached to the previous round of relief are Corinthian Colleges, ITT Tech, Maranello Schools of Beauty, Westwood Schools, and Court Reporting Institute. Okay, another set of changes is already taking effect as the Department of Education is in the process of overhauling the public student loan forgiveness program. This program extends relief to employees who have worked in the public sectors, including teachers, emergency medical professionals, police or firemen, as well as public service workers. Previously, participation in the program had an approval rate of less than 1%, which is horrible. However, with updated measures, that number has increased dramatically. Many former students who paid into the program, thus meeting their 10-year status across 120 consecutive payments, are being reassessed for partial or full loan discharge. Okay, students who have made payments without receiving the requirement are having those payments recounted in regards to payoff eligibility. Okay, the following groups are also eligible for full termination of student loan debts over the coming months: people with a total and permanent disability, military veterans, public servants previously unqualified. Notifications for the borrowers affected are coming in the form of emails, letters, and phone calls around the country. Okay, as for the rest of the student loan population, payments are expected to resume around January of 2021. Okay, meanwhile, existing federal loan servicers are in the process of transferring existing accounts to new ownership as a result of multiple lawsuits and lost revenue due to long-term deferrals. Okay, so a little bit of good news, not as much obviously as we would want there to be. I think that they should do student loan forgiveness for everybody the way that they were talking about it in the beginning, is because this is specifically for people who are of a certain stature, who are military veterans, who are disqualified, who are disabled, and then for people who are schools have been defrauded or who has been closed down, which I spoke about this in a completely different video. But I know that in the beginning of the pandemic, when Biden first started his term, he was talking about getting rid of student debt for about $50,000 a student. That didn't sit too well with his teammates, co-workers, whatever you want to call them. But I believe that they should do a $10,000 student debt forgiveness for everybody, regardless of their status, regardless of whether they were a veteran, regardless of whether they're disabled. Just $10,000 to help out, because the reality is that this year, and I'm pretty sure this next year that's coming up, it's still affecting people. Obviously, it's still affecting people financially. So regardless of how they feel about these long-term deferrals, people can't afford to pay $60,000 if they're not rich. That's just the reality of the situation. There should be more programs available. I don't think that there should be a cap on how much education you can get. I don't like the fact that for financial aid, if you've reached a certain amount of credits in your lifetime, then you no longer qualify for financial aid. And that's why a lot of people end up having to take out student loans to take care of their education. Okay, which to me is just another trap for you to stay bound to the government, because as I just read, you're paying this off over a 10-year span. Now, depending on when you actually decide to go back to school, that can be a blessing or a curse. If you're young, if you're 20 years old and you graduate, then okay, by the time you're 30, you'll be done. That's right around the time people start looking into purchasing property and things of that nature, so they won't have that really big amount of debt on their credit profile. However, if you're 30 or if you're 40 and that's stretched over 10 years, by the time you're 50, you probably already have a house, but you struggle to get that house because you have this debt on your credit profile. So I do definitely think that they need to look into that situation a little bit more deeper and make some student debt forgiveness available to more people, if that makes any sense. All right, the next thing that I wanted to talk about, it says the House GOP passes vaccine mandate bans after months of effort. After nearly 6 months of sustained efforts from anti-vaccination lawmakers and activists, Ohio House Republicans passed legislation Thursday prohibiting schools, colleges, and employers from requiring vaccinations from employees and students. The legislation also extends a broad immunity for people and businesses against lawsuits alleging that they negligently spread the virus. Okay, it passed with a nearly party line vote, 58-32. Republicans passed a bill over the objections from the public health, private health care, manufacturing, and general business associations, who have all voiced opposition to any kind of vaccine mandate ban for months. With House passage, it now heads to the Ohio Senate for considerations. Okay, so there are some exemptions: medical exemption, natural immunity exemptions, reasons of personal conscience as expressed in a minimalist written statement. So you guys are going to hear me talk about this a lot. I've said this to you guys before. This is just the reality of the situation. There's a lot of fine print that they have to go through when they're talking about these vaccine mandates. Okay, I told you guys that, and as far as I know, nothing has changed, but there was a video that I put out just recently where I was saying that I believe that the vaccine mandate that Biden was trying to put out, where big employers that have 100 employees or more had to enforce the vaccine mandate, or that their employees had to get tested on a weekly basis. I think that that is still on hold right now because they took it to federal court, or whatever that's called, Supreme Court, one of them court systems. Okay, y'all know I ain't about that life, so I don't know what that's called, but they took it to one of them court systems, and they're basically saying that it is a violation of people's civil rights. So as of right now, as far as I know, now if you guys know something different, just put it down below in the comment section. Okay, but as far as I know, they have pretty much put a halt to that. Okay, so of course we're going to be hearing more information about that, especially for me in the coming weeks, months, or whatever. But that is pretty much all that I have for you guys in this video today. As always, I hope this video is in some way helpful or useful to you guys. But do me a favor, if you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button, because it really does help to let YouTube know that you like what I'm doing and you want me to stick around. If you haven't already as well, don't forget to head over to my new channel and subscribe. It is Live Love Elevate 2, which I will put a beautiful picture of that on the screen. And don't forget to check out my merch shop, which should be down below the video as well. Okay, but as always, remember to live, love, and elevate, and I will definitely see you guys in the next video. Peace, beautiful people.